10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 21 of Stadium Connect North. So today we've got lots of news, lots of community news. We've got a big list that we've filled up. But today, let's start with something pretty special. We've got a special guest with us, and his name is Califett, a good friend of Ray Sherrod, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But other than that, welcome to the show, Califett. How are you doing?
Good. How about you guys?
Good. We're doing good. How about you, John? How are you doing?
Yeah. Glad it's the weekend. C'est le weekend, right?
Yeah.
And glad that it's kicking off here again. Another awesome episode, and glad that Califett could join us. Last week we mentioned him on the show, and given our shout out, and he wasn't unable to make it then. But so we've got him today here for 20 or 30 minutes before he's got to run for an errand. So it's great to be able to have him on the show and talk and find out about how he got into Stadia, some of the stuff he likes for gaming, all the good stuff that we like to do here on the show.
Exactly. But before we start, I would like just to say hi to everyone in the chat. So we've got Dave Winhall, we've got Simpleton, Granite, Party Time, Mark Sally, Misty22, Stadia Pro Gaming, Fletch, Megan Gauthier, Phew, I made it. Expeditor, hello, and Vivi Play with Plop. There you go. Oh, so funny. Awesome. But yeah, let's go ahead. If you're ready, John and Califett, let's go ahead and start this up. So Califett, first of all, tell us who you are, how you get your nickname, what are some of your favorite games you've been playing over the past few years, and what kind of gamer you are.
Well, my name's Andrew. I chose the name Califett because I was born in California. I'm now in Texas, but I felt like, I at least keep it in there. And then Fett is from, I have family that has the last name Fett, so I guess you could say I have Fett in my blood, so put that out there as well.
Nice.
That's cool.
So, man, so many games has just released, so there's so many choices. I've been playing Elden Ring a lot lately. That game is just great, man. I've played every single one with my brother. We've beaten every single one together, and it's just it's just
awesome.
Fun. It just stinks because he doesn't have an Xbox, so there's no crossplay, but we'll get there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna say that Califett, I feel like you're a person who likes a lot of things, who has a lot of variety, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's because behind you I see a Beetle poster, and on top of it there's a Friday the 13th mask, which is completely the opposite. Like I don't know
Yeah.
that. So
That's
I can see
awesome.
that like you must have like a lot of hobbies or a lot of a favorite kind of things, bands and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm a huge horror fan too. I'm excited because we have a Comic-Con coming soon, and I'll be getting the original Jason's autograph, the little kid.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so
Nice.
cool. Um,
So how did you, Califat, how did you like learn about Stadia, or get into Stadia, and then we can maybe talk about like your streaming. Like, what made you decide to get into
Yeah.
streaming? Because I know like we've played a couple of games together. Like I've been streaming, and you've been in the chat there. You joined a couple of games and things like that, and of course around the community as well. We saw you as well. So maybe like how did you first learn about Stadia and get involved with the community?
Oh man, Stadia. That saved me. Well, the pandemic just hit, and I had to remove my console for certain reasons, and so I was kind of stuck with no gaming, nothing to relieve my stress or nothing to relax me. And out of nowhere, I saw that Stadia came out. I was like, "Hey, that looks pretty interesting. I wonder what that is." And I did some research for a few months, and started actually watching John's channel when he was doing
Oh.
Stadia, and
Mhm.
and I was like, "Hey, this could be my ticket back into playing games again and being able to get back
Nice.
out there." And then
Wow.
I was watching. I think John was the first Stadia streamer that I was
Mhm.
following,
Mhm.
and
no way. Cool.
I
and
didn't know that. That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you remember, me and you were playing. Me and you kind of had a little head-to-head with the what is it?
Riders Republic, right?
Yep, Riders
Yeah,
Republic.
no, I
Yep.
remember that. Yeah, we were playing in Riders Republics, and and I was like, oh, like who is this Califet? And like we were just joining in, playing and having fun. That was awesome. I didn't realize like I was the first. Oh, that's awesome. Like I
Yeah,
feel
and then
honored.
I found Ray as well with
Mhm.
Red Dead. I saw Red Dead was on sale and
Mhm.
everything. Looked around to see, some gameplay and all that, and someone pointed me to Ray, and all of you guys are all like grouped together, so it kind of makes it kind of works
Yeah.
out.
What once you start following or talking to like one person in the community, inevitably everyone else follows along because we're all interconnected at some point here or there, whether talking, retweeting, sharing content, or whatever. But yeah, so that's awesome. That is totally awesome.
Yeah, and
So
when I started streaming too, to start that was just honestly all begins when my parents met. My mom would she would for my dad would trace out the Legend of Zelda on the old map that they had,
mhm.
and just so from there my parents bought every Nintendo, so I've just been a gamer.
Oh.
Yeah. And then when I got into college, I was like, I'll try making a game, and saw how difficult it was.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Not as
is it
simple
ever?
as drawing or
Like,
making an object. It's
the
still also
algorithm is
zeros
just
and ones.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just I just went from there to I was like, maybe I can do streaming. I can meet some cool people while playing, and even if nobody joins in, I'll still be just putting it out there while I'm playing anyways, and people could just watch eventually.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly.
So I know we've got like your details, your socials in the description of the video. So for anybody that wants to follow you on Twitter or YouTube or Twitch, they can get those links in the description of the video. But like, tell us a little bit about like for right now, you stream on YouTube 1 day a week and then on Twitch on the weekend. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I started
Tell us a
doing
little bit about that.
I started doing PUBG on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Fridays I'll do PUBG at 9 p.m. and I'll do the direct stream for Stadia because that hasn't failed me so far.
Yeah.
Convenient. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I started doing Twitch with horror games. I've wanted
Oh,
to
okay.
start with doing horror games, but then Xbox and Twitch just shook hands and made it so that you can do direct stream from your Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So this weekend I kind of changed it from horror to, since the new Batman movie came out, I'm doing Arkham this weekend.
Oh, wow.
Arkham
That's
Knight.
awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good
Nice.
game.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah. Nice. So other than that, have you been playing other games recently? Like, basically, like on any platform, it doesn't matter. But I guess right now you're into Batman. Uh,
Yeah,
like that's what you've been playing basically for your
I've
main
been
game,
playing
right?
that. Been playing Elden Ring. I also have been playing some Battlefield 2042.
Nice,
Oh, nice.
nice.
Yeah, that
Okay.
one game, honestly, it's not too bad. I understand why people are a little frustrated with
Yeah,
it, but I tried doing Call of Duty and it crashes too often for me, so I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
why.
Yeah.
interesting.
So Battlefield's
Yeah.
been my go-to, and then I just started getting back into Phasmophobia.
I
Oh,
don't know what
nice.
that game is. Yeah, I've never heard of
Uh,
it.
that game's actually you can play on GeForce, and what it is you're pretty much like a paranormal investigator going into a house and trying to
Uh,
figure out what kind of spirit it is and see if it talks back and if it does talk back, sometimes they'll haunt you and try to kill you. And yeah, it's
I like that. Have you
that's
tried
awesome.
Marta is Dead yet?
No, I haven't. I saw
Oh,
Ray's gameplay though. I'm
yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
intrigued.
sometimes I think you're pretty excited about it. Eh? You probably want to try it sometime soon.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm really looking
yeah,
forward for that one.
yeah. That
Uh,
one
ca-
looks
ca-
good.
came out by Wired Production, which we'll be
Hmm.
talking about a little bit later.
Hmm.
But it seems
Oh yeah.
like, yeah, I'm really, really excited. I really want to try it too at some point.
Man,
Um,
I would definitely, I'm definitely down to stream a Wired production after seeing
yeah,
their Twitter backing up Stadia or even any stream, just or any
Hmm.
service. Just it's awesome. I love seeing
Yeah.
definitely.
companies that do that.
That's awesome.
So, um, oh, Andrew joined my Baldur's Gate 3
Yes.
live stream and made a character. It was a lot of fun. Nice.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, we see you around jumping on a few stream even before you were streaming, right? Like you seem to be enjoying playing along with some people around, which is kind of nice. So John, I'm gonna let you ask
Okay.
that question. Yeah,
Okay. So Vivi's here, and
of
I'm
course.
sure you already know who Vivi is here. Vivi is a really good friend of everybody, really, like
Oh yeah.
in the community. It's always so fun. So Vivi wants to know, Callie Fett, what was it like growing up with Boba Fett?
Oh my
I
Well,
don't know how to answer how you want to answer this, but go ahead
God.
here.
well, I'll be honest. In a way, I grew up with the Boba Fett. My uncle was in the Air Force, so they gave him the nickname Boba Fett when Star Wars came out. So
Oh, really? That's
yeah,
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. There you
yeah.
go. So no question is ever too abstract or absurd. So if
Yeah.
anybody here
Oh yeah.
has any questions,
Well, be
or
careful what you wish
answers.
for, John. Maybe we'll get like crazy questions out there. Now that you
Well,
say
let's see.
that.
We'll try to keep it on topic here and PG, maybe a little PG-13, but
Oh my
other than
gosh.
that, oh look at this. Vivi said he's already had his eyes on you. He said, "I knew that already. I've been researching and."
Uh-oh.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, yeah.
that's funny.
So,
So, oh yeah,
yeah, yep.
so like with Stadia, yeah, you seem to be pretty, passionate as much as us playing this console. Maybe not like maybe that's not the good word, passionate. It's more like very convenient. Very just a good place to play games. But from your experience, do you have anything that you like Stadia to improve? Like
Yep.
any features that you would like added on it or anything like that?
I guess a little bit of more sports games. I would like to see some hockey.
Hmm.
I know you can see my
Oh,
Yeah,
hockey stick.
yeah.
I would love to see
yeah,
some NHL on Stadia. That would be
yeah.
great. If not that, I feel like there's a few games out there that could be pretty good on Stadia, like Evil Dead's going to be coming out. That's going to be a
Mhm.
multiplayer. I feel like
Yeah.
that one could be a pretty simple game to be able to run
Yeah.
on Stadia as well.
Yep.
So
That's
good,
awesome.
more variety of games, kind of,
Yeah, just a
yeah, I
big
get that.
wider variety. Yeah, more horror
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
yeah,
you
I
go.
agree with that, man. Like, I haven't even tried Resident Evil 7 yet. It's 7 or 8, but I really need to get to that because this seems very scary, and I'd love to try
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I would definitely love to see NHL come to Stadia as well. But
yeah.
I understand at this point as to why it hasn't, because EA's top performing sports games are going to be Madden and FIFA. Those are their two most popular. So that they want to play it safe there. So hopefully, maybe this year, maybe next year, or in a couple of years, we get NHL and Stadia. That would be great. I mean, they don't like EA doesn't even bring that game over to PC, so it's just on PlayStation and Xbox. So again, it's popular, but not as popular as the football and
they don't bring the technology like the latest technology either, right? Because the last one they only started using Frostbite technology. I think. Like on the last one.
So it's not as higher up in the development as the other games there, but it would still be awesome to be able to play NHL or even NHL 94. What was that? NHL 94 Rewind that they brought out was kind of like a remake of the Genesis version of NHL 94. Yeah, that was out on PlayStation and Xbox. That would be cool too, because it's just like the 16-bit sprite graphics. So that would be cool. Yeah. Like that could be a pro game to test the waters to see how it is here. So
we're getting some questions here. So
okay,
I Can't See is asking Califet, have you tried Darkwood yet?
No, I haven't. I picked it up and I immediately added. I do that to every first of the month. I immediately go on Stadia and go, I gotta pick these up before, so I don't miss out on that opportunity. But I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
That would definitely be like a horror game that you could stream and play. I've played that and streamed it as well, so it's fun. So I'd be looking forward to see when you get around to it, being able to play that and stream it and see what you think about it.
Exactly. So guys, like Vivi asked another questions here. So give yourself a big sigh, and I'm gonna show it right now. So do you have a landscape? Do you landscape your beard? If so, how long does it take? And do you use trimmers or a razor?
I just use a trimmer to keep it in line.
Yeah.
So I think we're starting to see a trend here. I think Vivi likes beards or is fascinated with beards because Dad plays games, right? And then Metal Wolf as well. So maybe one time we'll get a show that's full of guests with beards on it, and we can have everyone in the
maybe grow ours too.
Right, and see how it is. So, but that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Oh geez. Yeah.
So
that's great to learn. You were able to find out about Stadia because for other circumstances that you had to get rid of the consoles and things like that, and you found the community and obviously fit right in here because it's Vivi, I'm not growing a beard here. And I know you've played along, joined streams with SPG, right? Because obviously he mentioned the Baldur's Gate 3. I think.
Right.
Were you in a couple of Wreckfest streams for Stadia Pro Gaming?
Yes.
Played along?
Stadia and Array. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. So this is awesome. It is really good to hear and be able to finally talk with you. And for those that don't know you, again, you could check the details of the description of the videos, and you've got Kaifet's Twitter, YouTube, Twitch as well. I think so. You're just starting out on YouTube. The last time I checked, you were at about 28 subscribers here. So I'm wondering if we can get you a couple more. Oh, at 29 now, I see.
Yeah, I subscribed. I was not subscribed for some reason. So
there you go.
Hey, I'll take him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we got a question here that's very interesting. It's interesting from Fletch. He's asking, what's your favorite Stadia title?
Ooh, my favorite Stadia title. Man, there's so many good ones. Honestly, I'd have to say Sekiro, because out of all of them, I find myself going back to Sekiro a lot.
Nice. That's nice. Oh, it's a hard one too. So I guess I didn't click, but I guess it makes sense because you did buy Elden Ring, so I guess you're really into the Souls type kind of games, right? So that makes a lot of sense. I still have to finish. I like to finish them in order. So I finished from Demon's Souls to to Bloodborne. So I haven't finished Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro yet, but I'd like to finish them before jumping into Elden
Dark
Ring.
Souls 3 is just great.
It's really good. I need to get back into it for sure. Some
So
people
I
here.
threw.
Yeah.
Blizz was asking too to throw the link into the chat, so I went ahead and threw the link to Califet's YouTube there as well. It looks like Lewis is here. Lewis subscribes, so you're up to 30 now. But yeah, definitely. Check out Andrew here. Always fun. You're hanging around other people's streams, playing along, and it's great to be able to support other people in the community here, and definitely that's what Ninja and I like to do, is help highlight some of the people, some people that people might not really know or are up and coming and just starting out. So this is a great. Paul's giving you a sub there. So here we go. You're getting some more subs. Next thing you know, you'll be at 100, right? You'll be at 100.
And thank you guys for having me here too, man. This is awesome.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, so I understand. I know that we're going to now probably start to segue into the news here. I know that you have an appointment that you have to make to, or do you have to leave now? I mean, it's totally up to you. If you
I still think I have a few more minutes. I can hang around for a few more minutes.
Okay, all right, yeah. If you want to hang around for a few more minutes, we're going to talk a little bit about the news, and then once you go, we can just say, our thank yous and goodbyes, and appreciate that. And of course, everybody can give you a follow there. So yeah, I think it's good. We'll go ahead and segue into the news here.
Perfect. And feel free to to just, if you have to go, just interrupt us. Don't worry about interrupting us for anything.
All right.
But yeah, so we got I think this week is very exciting. We got a lot of stuff in the news and in the community. The first thing that we've heard here is 2 new games has been announced next up on Stadia. We didn't have any of those in a while, I think, right, John? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah, so they've announced 2 games that I never heard of before right now, and they are Calico, which is a cat cafe building type of game, and Lake, which is a story-driven, open-world decision-making type of game, I guess, from what I've heard. But very interesting games, especially Calico, since it's very you seem to be able to be doing a lot of stuff like riding a cat, or even isn't there a ball cat that you can roll with? And,
I think it's cool. Like when I saw these games announced, immediately I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome, because this helps diversify the Stadia library. They're not going to be for everybody. I've already saw people making comments about this and that and stuff like that, but this is Calico here, this is awesome, because this reminds me, it gives me some of the Animal Crossing type vibes. So, players that like to play Animal Crossing and things like that, I think will really enjoy this type of game, cat games. Not trying to stereotype or anything, but I think a lot of female players that this will appeal to as well as male. Nothing wrong with it. But this helps diversify the catalog here. And I think it could even possibly be both of these games could even be pro games.
That'd be good.
Yeah, in the upcoming months. It doesn't say when they're available here, but it says coming soon. This is
probably
awesome.
In 2022.
Look at this. Yeah, you look like she's walking down the street there, and there's other cats, and it looks like
walking with them.
Yeah.
So
a giant and things like that. Look at the cat swimming in the lakes here. Look at the cat doing
elephant
cartwheels. Look at that
elephant
hat.
Yeah.
So this is cool.
Yeah, honestly, I'm excited for it. Me and my spouse, we go at cat cafes pretty regularly, and the closest cat cafe is an hour and a half from here. We really make the effort to go, and I can't wait to give it a try, see what it's all about. We don't see too much of the cat cafe, but I'm curious. I want to see what it's all about. Cats and dogs, which are better? No, that's that you're asking for a war, Vivi.
That's a loaded question there, Vivi.
Exactly. And the thing that interests me the most, I don't know if it's just just a way to advertise it, but it's asking a question. They say, would you do you want to hang around more in the woods or do you want to hang out more in the city? So I don't know if you have the options to like camp out more and like do stuff in the woods more and then or live your life in the city. But yeah, it seems like you see here, it's very story driven. So Fletch, he says he's played Lake and it's very chill. Essentially, you drive around delivering posts and talking to people. Okay, that's cool.
So you're like a mail person, right? Mailman, mail person, and like you mentioned, Ninja here, it's I think it's more than that, because if you told somebody this is a game about being a mailman, they'd be like, what? Like, why would I even want to play that? But looking at it here, I think there's a lot more to it. Obviously, you're driving in the truck there and things like that. But again, another game, this isn't going to appeal to everybody, and not all games do, but there's definitely an audience for this. Both games, Calico and Lake here, I'm looking forward to, right? Like, I'm definitely gonna play those, and it's always interesting. It's good to get something different, from the norm. Like, here we go, going to the Flick Shack. So that was like what the rental, like Blockbuster and stuff used to be. Camping by the lake here.
Probably can go fishing too.
Yeah, going fishing as well. Yeah,
like in the past, maybe like, I don't know, 10 or 20 years ago, you wouldn't even think an indie game could even do like an open world game, right? And now we're seeing two of them, and they see like there's a lot of variety. You can do a lot of stuff, which is like, it's crazy to see just a handful of developers working on these types of games. It's amazing what you can do now. But yeah.
That's awesome there, because that's a brand new publisher bringing their games to Stadia here. So trying it out with two of their games in their portfolio, and who knows, maybe we'll see more later this year.
Exactly. So next up is, so we've talked about the Google Summit before, but this time around, Stadia actually talked about it. So what this means is that I think this is like considered like a conference for Google for games or something like that. But the fact that Stadia announced it and they talk about Stadia stuff is very cool, because it basically gives us just the details, the specific details of what they'll be talking about Stadia. So if you click here, for example, this is the document that they've made. And like I mentioned, they just give us all of the information that they're going to talk specific to Stadia, if I'm not mistaken. They are. Okay, yeah. So what's cool about this is that they how can I say that, like, they're just trying to put some hype basically for Stadia, even though this would be made for the developers. They're still trying to include some like the fans basically, and just to give some insight to it, just to be clear, this is not like a Stadia Connect, or not like, it's not something like, we're not going to see any new stuff, like very shiny cool stuff happening in these conference. It's really just to show the developers the kind of tool that they can work with. So we're not going to learn anything about new upcoming features for the players or stuff like that. We could maybe like little things, but it's very much to be appealing for the developers.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I saw a couple of people, were out on Twitter and social media, and obviously getting excited for it, because it's awesome that Stadia did tweet this out and says, Stadians, join us for Google for Game Developers Summit. We saw this. This is a yearly event. The last one was in July, and that's when we learned about the new way incentives to bring the games to Stadia, certification, streamlining, all that good stuff. So there's going to be some information here that we'll definitely find cool, but like Ninja said here, I don't expect any type of roadmaps or new game announcements. You just kind of have to keep like your expectations in check here. It would be awesome. Like Vivi says here, it'll give us some things to look forward to. So this is cool. I'm going to be streaming the keynote and all the sessions there on the 15th. So definitely anyone that wants to join in, watch along and talk, just like the Breakpoint 2 Developer Summit that was a couple of weeks ago. Had a lot of fun with that. People come in talking and learning. And there was some stuff that was like over our head, but then there was also some cool stuff there too as well. So I'm really looking forward to it, but not expecting any like breakthrough announcements or, we've signed this developer or this game coming. Maybe a hint at some features, but maybe not. Like, so just it's best not really to expect, too much. And I really think that the Stadia social account tweeted that out to bring our attention to it because they realize, that the Stadia community is very passionate and interested in all aspects of Stadia, regardless if we understand everything or not. Like, we're just hungry for knowledge and have that passion for the technology.
Exactly. Like me and you were like, we're so invested in Stadia that like we like to hear like any tidbits, any little things that's happening. So that's why we get excited for these today. And it's not because we're like, oh, new games and stuff. It's just little like technology that. So I thought I heard Andrew laugh a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, and I think he was laughing at this comment, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, maybe that would be pretty funny. Simpleton is asking, will we see a Windows emulator? So I think they're going to talk about this, and I think it's a new feature where you'll be able to, you won't need to port your games. You'll be able to emulate your games through Windows, and then just bring it to Stadia like that. So it's going to be interesting to see if they lose power by doing that, or if there's any disadvantage of doing that. So it's going to be interesting to see that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting overall. Like looking at some of those, I could see, I definitely have favorite sessions over others, but I'm all in for all of them here, and hopefully everyone can come along in for the ride and just enjoy learning about Stadia and the platform.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on, we have a new game that popped out today. We did expect this game to come out. Let me just refresh my page here. But it was like the only confirmation we had was just like a Twitter message. So it's cool to see this game that just doesn't want to load. There you go. Ryan Rescue Squad on the Stadia. Yeah, so it is a new platformer, which we don't have a lot, right? We have Kaze and the Wild Mask. We have Rayman Legend. But yeah, this is a new one made for a younger audience. But from what I've heard, actually from Fletch's review that I've heard, it seems very very fun. Like just a 4 to 6 hour game where you with a lot of variety, where you just jump around and do a lot of fun things. So let me just put the trailer here. So is that something that you plan on streaming, John, or is that like
I love outright games, me. I'm just a big kid at heart anyways. I streamed the other day night, and you streamed too, Ninja, the Ryan's Racing.
Yes.
So we stream those both at separate times, and it's fun. You can always find value into some point in this. Obviously, the target audience are younger kids, so this isn't going to be like a Super Mario Brothers or Rayman or anything like that. It's geared towards kids, and it's always good to show off and see people will be looking, parents and maybe even kids on YouTube are looking for games, and because Ryan is like super huge. He's like a multi-million-dollar entity. I guess we'll stay here. Yeah. And I mean, this is you take it for what it's worth, right? Like, I mean, what it's gonna be your expectations.
Exactly.
My son started watching Ryan in the early days and just seeing what it came to now. It's just nuts.
Yeah. So, are you into platformers, Andrew? Like, is that something that you think you'd be playing?
I don't know. I probably would have stream my son playing it and then just my commentary.
I don't know. Well, you know what? That's kind of cool. That's something that I'd love to do if I'd have any children, But no, that's very cool. I'd love to see these kinds of stream for sure.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, you can grab this game on Stadia for $49.99 Canadian. So have a look. Next up, so since last week we got our pro games. So Stadia, I guess, doesn't like my like pop-ups being there for a long time for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 5 pro games got out. We've got 3 new games, which is Adam Wolf, just wait here, Dawn of the Monsters, and Race with Ryan, of course. 3 nice title. Very excited about Dawn of the Monsters. It's an excellent title. I love it. And other than that, we've got Darksiders Genesis as a game that we had previously. It's like one of the first game we ever had. It's actually it released during the same time that Stadia released. It was a launch title. And then we've got another one. I'm trying to think. Do you remember what other game we got, John? On Pro?
I don't offhand. I know that sounds bad. Yeah, it
Darkwood,
escaped.
Of course, Darkwood.
Oh,
Jeez.
and we talked about it earlier. Yeah.
Exactly. So since it's free, I definitely want to try it. And what's nice with Califet, since he's a fan of horror, he doesn't even need to buy it, right? You're in a pro subscriber, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Andrew? Yeah.
Yes.
So there's no reason for us not to try it now. So yeah, looking forward for that for sure.
Oh yeah.
So next up is another interesting news. So we didn't just got one coming soon to Stadia, but 2 in the last 2 to 3 weeks, I think. So time flies by pretty quickly, but these are very interesting titles being published by our friends Wired Productions, which has released some games beforehand, like The Falconeer, for example. And they're in the future, they're gonna, on March 24th or something like that, they're going to release Lumos, which seems to be a very interesting title too. But yeah, so here we're getting Deliver Us to the Moon, which is probably the highest budget game that we're seeing from Wired Production on Stadia so far. Seems very interesting. It's like a story-driven game with some puzzles, very mysterious type of game. Where the way I've learned is that the Earth is like in chaos, and they need to bring resources from the moon for Earth to survive. But for some reason, they're not getting any resources from the moon anymore. So they're bringing this one guy to the moon, and they he has to figure out things. And like movies like that or stories like that, I'm so interested in them just a thriller type and how what's gonna happen and stuff like that. So very interesting, and can't wait for for that to happen to release.
Seems like it'll be in the horror area or genre kind of too.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Exactly. And I know when we got that tease from Wired Productions that there was going to be an announcement, Fletch was like, he guessed, he's like, oh, deliver us the moon, and sure enough, that was it. But I didn't expect them to announce an additional game here. And
exactly.
Sure enough.
If I scroll down, which is an interesting I guess there's no videos, but an interesting game, City Legends, The Curse of the Crimson Shadow Collector's Edition. The wording, oh my gosh. But,
I know.
It is a hidden object game, and my spouse is a big fan of these types of games. Like I mentioned before, she finished 2 of them per week. She's really into them. And I myself am very excited. I actually really play June's Journey almost daily.
I was gonna say, yeah. I love those June's Journey commercial because it's
oh my gosh,
this wife she's trying to get her husband to notice what's different about me or what's different, and the husband never knows anything. But this is great. This has got touch control too. So again, right? Again, this is just diversifying the portfolio for Stadia. So now, like Ninja was saying, his spouse loves to play these types of games. So that's
definitely.
And again, it's good to unwind and just play something different. Every once in a while here. So again, it might not be for everybody, but there's definitely an audience, and I think this is a great game that you can play on your phone, your tablet, wherever that you want to play it, and just just have fun. And I can even see, like, like playing it together with your spouse or significant other, right? Like,
yes, all the time.
You're searching on the screen there and be like, okay, where is this? Where is that? Like, I know with Adam Wolf, when I was playing it the other day, it's like you have to find this and that, and people are in the chat were like, oh, it's over here,
Helping
it's
out.
over there. So it's awesome.
Oh man, I'm trying to help her the least possible because she hates that, right? But when I get really drunk, like I can't help it. I'm like, oh, it's right there, and she hates it so much, right? It's a fun time though. I don't know what's up with these games, but yeah, they're really addicting. I just want to say shout out to Danny Gallagher here, who gave us a super sticker. So she says, hippo character with stars growing in his eyes, pumping his arms in the air with the word hype pulsating above him. Do you get that, John?
Yeah. Well, so what Restream does is, like, she's put the sticker in there and it actually describes it to us. So she didn't type any of this at all. It's just like the hippo there going hype, so kind of like raising the roof type of deal.
I thought she was writing like a poem about us being hype about something. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's very artistic,
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
And then Stadia with these touch controls too. I feel like so many games can use some of them. Like Baldur's Gate, I feel like could be one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah. Into the Breach and all those types of games, right? Like, I was gonna say Humankind, but it is actually touch control already. But yeah.
Yep. That's what made me first start thinking of Baldur's Gate, because I was like, maybe, that probably could work.
It's definitely. It seems developers are getting more comfortable with this feature. We saw 100 Days implement it right before Christmas, right? So we're starting to see more and more titles, and these, like, they're perfect for the touch control, type game. So I'm like happy to see this come again. I think this will probably be a pro game for April, because both of these games are coming in April. The question is, Deliver Us the Moon. Is that going to be a pro game? I don't know. I can't. I can't make my mind up personally. Like I can't say it in my own way. It's like, well, it could be, it couldn't be. Like, there's no definitive for me. Would I love to see it being a pro game? Oh, heck yeah, that would be awesome. Oh, yeah. And just as a side note here, Ninja and I are in talks with the developers of Deliver Us the Moon. So they're gonna be on the show here within the next, hopefully, couple of weeks here for an interview. We'll be talking with the developers and, of course, taking questions from the chat. So watch out for that. That's coming, a developer interview with the people from Deliver Us the Moon.
That's awesome.
Exactly. Yep. Look forward for that for sure. All right, so let's move on here. So John here is advertising his Twitter channel. No, just kidding. So he says, I'm just going to leave here this here. Expect more games next week too. So if I click here, this morning, Stadia announced 2 new games arriving in April 2022. Deliver Us to the Moon and City Legends. That's 4 games revealed this week in total, following Monday's announcement. Calico and Lake from Whitehorn Games. Expect more game next week too. So is that part of a newsletter, John, that you have?
So that's part of the press release when the 2 games were announced on Thursday from Wire Productions from Google. So that was, sometimes in these press releases, we get a little bit more information than what's put out there. And I noticed that there too, and specifically highlight it. It says, expect, more games next week.
So that would be next week from now, right?
Yeah,
man.
Next week.
They put it there small just so you skim right past it.
yeah, exactly.
I just want to give a shout out to Zarina here. For the $5 animated ferret waving in the hands in the air with majestic glistening fur cascading in the gentle breeze. So their hair in the back. Yeah,
gentle breeze, wow. Man.
Awesome. Thank you so much. But so this is very interesting here that we're gonna get more game announcements next week. We were kind of talking about this before the show, Ninja, and I was thinking, quite possibly, we saw House of the Dead rate it, which I know that's an
Yes.
upcoming news piece here. I can see it in the tab there. So I'm jumping a little ahead here, but House of the Dead was rated on Stadia by the ESRB. Trailer was released today with Nintendo Switch branding, because that's what it's only officially been announced for the Switch, and it's coming April the 7th, so next month, on Switch. Of course, we've got our eyes everywhere. So in the Forever Entertainment Discord, the House of the Dead remake channel, there's a developer in there, and they're talking about it, back and forth, different features and whatnot, which we won't go in too much because, again, it's not officially confirmed. And someone asked about Stadia, and the response was it's only the only officially confirmed platform right now is Switch. Okay. So, I that leads me to think, could it be part of the announcements next week? If we're going to get it the same time as Switch, April the 7th, so in about a month's time, this would be good. I don't know. Again, all speculation, take it all with a grain of salt. These are just, us chewing the breeze, or shooting the breeze, however you want to say it. And just talking and going back and forth. I don't know. I mean, Califett, do you have, any ideas or thoughts maybe about what could be announced next week, or?
Oh man, I don't know.
No. I mean, sometimes.
There's a lot of games that they're coming out, and then so many games that are hidden too. Like outright, I didn't even see some of those coming out to Stadia until they just announced them.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Now I understand why you're putting like 1 and 1 together for House of the Dead. Like I wasn't aware of this, so I was like, why is John guessing House of the Dead next week? And now that I see this piece, like it totally makes sense. It could really happen, and we don't have anything that we know of that's coming out next week. So it's very exciting because, like, I don't know what it's going to be, and it's I can't wait for it to.
World War Z.
Oh yeah, it could be World War Z.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, it says expect more games next week too. Yeah, it could be. I think World War Z is. We know it said winter, and we know winter is quickly coming to an end here. So that would be great. We got another
what is that?
Chat here.
I need to see that sticker. It's not a sticker. I was like, what kind of sticker is that?
that sneaky Vivi here has now typed it out. A 3D rabbit with a chainsaw hands mooning the screen whilst a jet flies overhead and the Star Spangled Banner plays in the background.
That wasn't even a sticker either. Okay.
Like how do we act that out? Like here's the chainsaw, and there's an airplane overhead, and
oh my gosh, you guys are
so
gonna
awesome.
ruin our show now. That's so funny. Okay. Deep breath. Okay, so so there is talk about maybe the developers of Pixel Junk Raiders might be looking into making a sequel after releasing the Tomorrow Children. I know it's not saying that there, but I've been reading about it a lot, and I think this is what they're looking into doing next. And what Dylan here is saying, that if they can find a publisher for Pixel Junk Raiders the sequel, or even like remaking the first one on other consoles, he'd be glad to make it. So all we have to do is find a publisher, and he'd be glad to help it out and bring this game to life on other console and maybe a sequel. And the reason why we have this here is because, I mean, me and John, we really like this game, and we love to see a new game of this sort to come back. Like, I finished this game 100%. I'd even still play it, like, because I love it so much. But I gotta play other games, like there's just too many games out there. Did you get a chance to play Pixel Junk Raiders, Andrew?
No, I've seen gameplay of it though, and it does look really fun. Honestly,
This is like when I saw it, I totally fell in love with the art style. Like that's what
Oh.
first drew me to it. I'm nowhere near as good as Ninja is on this. I'm maybe like 1/100th skill level as you are, but like I'll keep playing it and dying and keep trying here. But it's really interesting to see like Dylan, making that comment saying, okay, they're looking like they would like to bring the original Pixel Junk Raiders to other platforms, which is great. That helps the developer make more money. And they also would like to make a sequel with a smaller budget, give them some time to polish the core system. So I know, like Ninja, like for you, what would you say, like what would you like to see in a sequel for Pixel Junk Raiders that's maybe different or improved upon from the first game?
Honestly, the thing that needs the most improvement is the difficulty. Not the difficulty, but I think that you should be leveling up a lot faster than you should. Then like it's really slow, and because you're not leveling up fast enough, like you're getting those hard levels that are almost like impossible to beat unless you're like an expert. But this is the one thing that I think that people would like. I'd love to see more stories to it, like maybe more story segments. I was so happy to hear in the first one that you could actually finish the game, because when I first started, I was like, oh, it doesn't look like a game that you can finish, but there is actually like bosses and stuff like that. But honestly, other than that, I like the game so much. Like these are the only thing that I want the game to have. Just Is there something in the chat? I know that you laugh.
Oh no. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm agreeing with you here too. It's like, and I know like we talked about too, is like pretty much like state shares. Like you have to use state shares to be able to complete it. Like I agree with you 100% about the leveling up, because I get to certain mission and you'll start off with, and it'll say you're underpowered. And the only missions that I have on my screen, I might have like 3 or 4 or 5, whatever other ones, and they all say that. So I'm already underpowered, right? And you're screwed. So you've got to use state shares. I would love to see either a local or online co-op with it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Right? This would be so fun playing with a friend. Like imagine like you in Malaysia or Krulk playing. Like I would love to see you guys play in that, because watching, when this was part of the summer community championships there, like just watching like you guys play, it was just, I was so mesmerized about like how awesome, and especially like Malaysia was going through these runs, and I think he was trying to beat your run or somebody's, or Krulk's or somebody's, and it was like, come on. And like he did, like his last try that he did, he was able to complete or whatever he wanted to do. And it was so like, I love the competitiveness of it. Yeah. Very satisfying. So I would love to see a sequel, like you said, with more story to it, a little bit easier on the like leveling up and the difficulty. And I would love to see like online co-op with it as well. Like even if they, like I said, they want to use the same systems in a smaller budget, using the same engine, the cosmetics and everything would be great. Just new levels and these enhancements and things like that. Little
modifications, just like the Tomorrow Children, for example. They're so the game is being re-released, and that's what they're doing. They're doing these small modifications and then putting it back. So even if they did that for Pixel Junk, it'd be amazing. Like I don't want it to be easier. I just want the progression to be faster for me. Like I don't. Right. Because if it goes too easy, then maybe I'm not going to be as interested, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
But I want it to be more accessible for
or maybe adding that difficulty option there too, right? Or to open for a wider variety of people. But this is very encouraging. The Stadium Connect North or whatever even said we'd gladly help fund any type of crowdfunding if Stadia was one of the platforms. I think this is the game like you and I came together on and kind of like met, like because we were both in the Discord and we kind of knew each other a little bit last year around this time, right? Or maybe a little bit later, something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't in July. I think July, August that we met.
Well, right, that we met, but I know like into the Discord there, like
that was around March, for sure.
March, April, something like that, and just seeing, because I know they had a contest where you could win the Pixel Junk Raider shirt, right?
Mhm.
So
Oh,
that was
so
awesome.
fun. So
Yeah,
fun.
I totally love that game, and I really do
Mhm.
hope we see a sequel come.
Yeah. As long as Stadium Connect North exists, there's always going to be news about Pixel Junk Raiders.
Yeah.
I love this game so much. I'm gonna cherish it all my life.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Well, I think I gotta head out.
Okay,
All
no
right. Well,
problem, Caliph. Thank
awesome.
you very
Yeah.
much for coming. Let me
We
just
appreciate
close that for a sec. But
appreciate
yeah,
that.
Caliph, thank you. And if you ever want to come back, we say, come let us know. You're very fun to to hang out with during the news. So for
Mhm.
sure.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I
Awesome.
appreciate being here and having the opportunity to hang out with you guys, and
Awesome.
it's great being here.
It's great. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Take care. Have a great weekend. And
You too.
don't forget to watch the Winter Community Championships tomorrow. It's going to take
Yeah.
place here. We'll be talking about that later. But yeah. Awesome. Have a
Awesome.
great
Alright.
weekend. Yep.
You
Okay.
too. All right, bye,
See ya.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, so let's jump back into the news. So
Mhm.
this is Jackbox Party Pack 9 has been. This is what it's all about. Adrian, like this is for
No.
Jackbox Party 9.
No, this is actually, and this is a little bit
Oh,
confusing at first. So
Yeah.
we talked about that last week. I think Jackbox Party Pack 9, right?
Oh, we
Was
did. Okay.
announced, and it didn't say what platforms. It's just like wherever you've enjoying Jackbox, it'll be coming this fall. But then they announced Jackbox Party Starter is coming this
Oh.
summer, and that's what this is here. It looks like I don't know if you want to go over here a little bit.
Yeah. So this is the party starter is about games that exist from other Jackbox Party game. I think they're doing like a best of type of thing, right? And
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're picking popular games from some of the other ones here. And yeah, like you see here, this year we're releasing a collection of 3 previously released yet newly updated games from our roster. So if you like the Jackbox Party games, and I know pretty much everybody does, because they're always a fun time, right? No matter who you play them with there. This is just something like another game that you can add to your party night with your friends, either virtually or in person, however, you choose to do it.
Yeah.
Always a fun time. Like anytime I streamed there, it's people have loads and loads of fun with it. So
lots of
great.
laugh. And
Mhm.
so who knows, right? Like we might be getting it on Stadia. And hope for it. So it says here that it's planned to launch in summer 2022. So it's not too far from now. Maybe like in maybe three months or something like that. So
yeah.
we'll see. Time flies
Depends
by.
it depends what their definition of summer. Summer technically starts June 21st and ends like September 20 some odd. So we could see it. I would say if they're saying summer 2022, I would say like June, July, August. Like I would think maybe middle of July, beginning of August, something like that. But who knows? Hopefully we'll get more information soon. And I think there's a really good chance. We had Ethan on here. Now it's been more than a couple of weeks ago, a month and a half, 2 months ago. And he did a lot of work on laying the ground for the Jackbox games, bringing them over to Stadia 6, 7, and 8. So I really do think like now that this relationship has been established that it's a high probability.
Yeah, exactly. Looking forward to it. So Granted here is very logical, and I think we're gonna leave it at that. All right. Next up is Life is Strange has got a new patch for their game. I think it had a rough start when it first released. There was like some bugs and crashes like that. So it's nice to see that they've got more fixes done here. I'm not sure if it's the second batch of patch or no, actually this is from September 10.
No, actually from earlier in February. So
February.
This was originally announced, and now they're saying that this patch has been pushed out. It's now
available now.
On all. And like you said, when both of the remasters launched there, I know I experienced some bugs here, a crash, audio not playing and things like that. And it looks like they've done a whole bunch of like lighting fixes, animation improvements, audio, localization. Like, so they've done some updates to the games here, which both are really fantastic games. I love the story in these games and the choices you make, and it's like I love it. Like give me a game with a really good story, and I'm set. Right?
Exactly. That's all I need. Honestly, if you have a good story, and even if the gameplay is Tetris, like if the story is good, like it's all I need, So it's nice.
I totally agree.
Exactly. So look forward to, like, the patch of Life is Strange is out, so give it a try. Maybe if you were annoyed by the bugs, maybe you'll be having a better experience now. Zero Games saying, I'm almost finished with chapter 2 and I haven't had any issues. That's good. That's good,
awesome.
because
that is totally awesome.
Yeah, that they're fixing those kind of things. So one thing here that wasn't really announced, but Stadia Verse here, notice that Adam Wolf actually supports touch control, direct touch from Google Stadia. So this is just another game added to this feature, which I think we're at 3 games. No, there's also the Jackbox Party games. But we're getting a lot.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're starting to get a lot of game with touch control, which is kind of cool. I hope that this continues, like that new hidden object game. I feel like now they're like the one that are really useful for it. They're gonna start like implementing it very easily. So very interesting. I've tried it with the direct touch. Very it's as if I'm playing like a Android game, like it's just it's the same. So it's very cool. I like this feature a lot. What about you, John? Did you give it a try? Did you
I love the, like, it's perfect. Like, this is these types of games are perfect for direct touch, that you can use your phone or your tablet without having to have the controller in your hands here, and you just touch your. It's so intuitive. And there's a character in the chat here, X Predator, says, I know that Twitter account. Yeah, I don't know who that is. So this is X Predator. He's part of the Italian Stadia community and Stadia Verse, and so I think he might have even wrote this little.
He does these articles for sure. But shout out to Stadia Verse IT. It's it's a very good informative website. If you're Italian, I really recommend you having a look. Right now I translated it in English, but even if you want to do that, they keep up to date with their news. They're very interesting. Like, it's basically the Stadia source of Italian. So really recommend this website if you're Italian, for sure.
I love this. I love that within the Stadia community, there's these other, sub communities, because not everybody speaks English native, right? So I love seeing, like, this Italian here. We've got German with Cloud Play. We also now Brian has actually opened up a Spanish Nerf report. Right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Well. So that's awesome. I love seeing all these different sub communities within the overall arching Stadia community. If Brazil comes on board, Portuguese as well, right? So this will be awesome. And I think I saw on Discord, Polidero was talking in the Wired Productions chat room in Discord there about the Portuguese content and things like that. So awesome. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that's all we had, guys, for the Stadia news. And we thought to ourselves, like we mentioned, we have a lot of community news for some reason. So we've decided to not do any special segment between both. So what we're going to do, we're just going to jump right into the community news, but that will give us some time to open the chat afterward and talk about stuff together. So we'll go ahead and jump into that.
Okay, alrighty. So I'm gonna we'll switch roles here. Look at this, abracadabra! Look at that, and we're gonna open up here, and so we're gonna start right off here. This is, again, we've talked about Wired Productions today. They've been mentioned several times. And again, the link is in the description of the video here, they've on their Discord, they've created a special Stadia chat room. This is where you can go in and talk all things Stadia. And once they tweeted this out, there was like a whole bunch of familiar faces in the Stadia community that joined here. So I highly recommend checking out Wired Productions. You'll see a little bit later on here, and actually might even be the next thing that we're talking about, of a little bit of news that we learned from in the Discord there. Let's go ahead and close this one here and look at that. Sure enough, speak of the devil, NinjaGuy X here said, I put this in some places yesterday, but I just want to let the Twitter peeps know that the ultimate goal for Wired Productions is to bring all of their games on to Stadia. So we go over here and we click that, and this was on Discord, and Ninja was saying, oh, well, jokingly here, it's like, oh, what if every single Wired Production game would get released on Stadia? And one of the, I think Steve there, one of the admins on the channel, is like, we're not announcing that, but that really is the long-term plan. So that's awesome. Awesome to hear. And the support from Wired Productions, like this week, coming out of, I gotta close this here, coming out of nowhere really, and just like blasting us. It's awesome to see the love. Exactly. So here we go, and look at this, another post by this NinjaGuy X person.
About Raiders again, right?
Yeah, of course, right? Happy 1 year anniversary Pixel Junk News, Pixel Junk Raiders. The game is very special to me because this was the game that started my journey into content creating, and I've met so many new friends while playing. The journey to the end was such an amazing experience, and wow, I can't believe like it's only been a year since the game launched. It feels like it's been longer. But yeah, this is awesome. Again, I just totally love the aesthetics to the game there, and all the different monsters and power-ups, and it's dancing around and showboating on the screen there. It's just totally awesome. So happy 1 year anniversary, Pixel Junk Raiders. We hope to see that sequel in the near future that was being talked about here.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know who this NinjaGuy X is, but I think he gets paid per clicks here.
Oh, yeah,
and
exactly.
It looks like Dawn of the Monsters will be exclusive to Stadia for a few days and weeks. So again, Discord is our friend here. Ninja was talking in their Discord there and mentioning about Dawn of the Monsters. And sure enough, someone from 13 AM Games said, yep, it's coming out March 1st, just on Stadia. And we later then learned that it's coming March the 15th to other platforms. So this is awesome. Like, this is great that they were able to get it out first on Stadia and Stadia Pro. I know we've both been having such an awesome time with the game. I mean, like, it is so just, I've made it all the way through to Toronto, and in Brazil, I'm on the last boss now.
Oh, and you're further than me.
Yeah, it's challenging but rewarding and fun.
Yeah.
I found that you definitely, like, using the variety of the different Nephilim, the monsters there, really does help out, because some are suited better for my gameplay style than their others. I know specifically, like in Brazil, there was a level and I was having trouble with it, and I just kept going like 3 and 4 and 5 times. I was like, I'm like, you know what? I'll just try to pick Aegis Prime. I'll try Aegis Prime, and I chose Aegis Prime, and just like that, I beat it.
Easy
right?
peasy.
I literally, yeah.
Nice.
So it was just because Aegis Prime's a little bit faster. Using the different power-ups and things like that. So definitely exploring with the power-ups and enhancements or augments, as they may call it in the game, is definitely highly suggest that. And I love this. I'm looking forward to completing this. And I know in the Discord there's at least 1 or 2 people that have already beaten the game. There's even somebody that's writing
like a technical
or strategy
strategy
guides and things like that on it. So it is great. I think this is like Dawn of the Monsters is going to be like this year's Pixel Junk Raiders for me. Like liking that, and people are already asking there about more content. As we found with Alex, that when he came on and we interviewed him a couple weeks ago, depending on how well the game does, we could see more content. We could see online multiplayer. For me, right now at this point, that's the only thing I wish it would have is the online multiplayer. But
or post-ending stuff. I'd like to see, like, after finishing the game, there would be like more stuff that you could do. I'd love that.
Yeah, or maybe even like and I don't think the game has this, like I know that so right now, of course, it's local co-op, right? But maybe you have like a one-on-one where one person chooses one of the Nephilim, another person chooses the other, and you battle out to see
like versus mode.
Versus mode, exactly. So who knows? Maybe that's coming. And we also learned that Dawn of the Monsters doesn't have any achievements. I think that's the first Stadia game that doesn't have any achievements. My theory, and this is just based upon my thoughts here, is that when you start the game up and you're playing it, it comes in, I think it's in the bottom left-hand corner, it says RC 2.0. And that's, to me, from my knowledge and stuff in computers and things like that, that means release candidate 2.0. So I'm guessing, theorizing that they got this game, like Stadia said, we want to have this game for March 1st. Can we get it? Stadia Pro. And like, they kind of like, okay, the game's done, but we don't have maybe like the achievements put into it. So they kind of like got it out there. And I think achievements will come. I know. Yeah, there we go.
So that's what they said. When it comes to achievements, that's exactly what they said. They said we will look into it, but no promises. As with my previous answer, we will be very loud about it if we do add it. So it's very possible. They didn't say no, and they're usually very straightforward when they answer stuff. They what did he say? They asked some stuff and they said like strictly no. Like they just like said it right away. So yeah, they seem to be very straightforward with their answers. So it's promising for sure.
Okay, I see David P in the chat there saying Ark is another game with no achievements. I think I'm not 100% sure. So that
he's
could
right.
Be the case. Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I guess it will tell when Dawn of the Monsters releases on the 15th on other platforms if it has achievements. If it does have achievements, then I think what I'm guessing or theorizing on it is probably somewhat accurate. But if it doesn't, then it's totally blown out of the water. But again, it's just all guesses and hunches here. But regardless, I love playing the game. You can see Granite. I know we've talked with Granite on Discord as well. He was like, I really wasn't that interested in the game before, but then after the interview, I was interested, and he's liking the games here. A surprise hit. So
same with Anthony the Cowboy. He said he went from liking it to maybe not liking it, and then he tried it and he's hooked. Like he has like a 30-minute video explaining how his experience went, and it's amazing what playing a game can do to you. It's crazy.
Yep, that's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over here so I can see better. Okay. So next is a little bit of information. We talked about this NinjaGuy X. So now it's time to talk about this Force Cars gaming guy here. Anyway, so earlier this week, I received my second ever Stadia Research email. And it was awesome to be able to see. I went ahead and I took screenshots of every single question. I think there was 17 that it asked. And it ranges from, of course, what's your age range, and kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm in the 41 to 50 area now. I'm getting old, but that's okay. Do you have a pro subscription? How many games have you claimed through? So they're finding out about like how long have you been with Stadia here? And then here's some questions about, in the last 6 months, how often have you used the following devices to play? So they talk about Xbox, PlayStation, computer, mobile, handhelds, virtual reality, and cloud. What do you use? How often do you play on these different devices? What types of games do you play? Not in general, not just Stadia. So select all that apply. And I think I selected virtually almost everything because I love all these different types of of genres. I mean, I don't play the card battle games as much as I might say adventure games, but sure, every once in a while I'll dabble with a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links and things like that.
Nice.
Not too hardcore, right? But just a
Mhm.
little
Just for
bit. Like
fun.
I think like all I find enjoyment. I can find enjoyment in a variety of different genres, and of course, I like other genres more than others. Puzzle games here, racing games, RPG, sandbox, all the different types of genres here. How satisfied are you with Stadia? How likely
Mhm.
will you continue to use Stadia?
Yeah.
How do you feel on the overall catalog of games? Pro subscription, value for the money, ease of use. So, like, these are all great probing questions to find out information about people. How important are these features to you? Based on your answer, like, so I said I want to have a large library of titles I'm interested in playing. How well does this currently meet a need for you here? um what are you doing well here? And this particular one was kind of hard because it says you
Hmm.
could only select up to 3, and I
Oh,
felt there was more than 3 that I could choose from. And I
yeah.
accidentally, like, when I was doing the survey here, I think I chose like 5 or 6, and it was like, go back, you can only pick 3. I'm like, oh, so
Mm.
gosh. Yeah. In your opinion, what Stadia not doing well? And this was a nice, interesting question here. Based on your relationship with the product, for each statement, please indicate if you agree or not. I believe Stadia is capable of delivering quality games. I never have to wonder if Stadia will stick to its words. So these are all like image based questions around
Hmm.
Stadia, right? Like,
Interesting.
so what is your thoughts on, and of course everyone has their own different thought, and depending on what they've heard or how interested you're into the platform, they some people might say, oh, I based upon these articles I keep seeing that Stadia is never going to stick to its word. So it's very interesting. I would love to see the results to this. Of course, we'll never ever see it in my life, but it's interesting to see how. Again, here's another one: how much do you trust Stadia, right?
Oh,
So, because you see people, some on social media, the Google graveyard, and I don't trust it, my games aren't going to be here, and things like that. So again, another image overall question about that. Ask about 30-minute free trials. Did you
mhm.
play? So we see these listed here. What is the
A
main
lot of
user?
people in the chat is asking, why didn't I get the survey, or why do I don't have it? And Fletch says here, which makes sense. I believe it was select people who got it, so
Mhm.
he never received
It's
it either.
select people. I know of Carmelo, who's another friend here in Canada. He lives about an hour away. He's in Hamilton.
Okay.
He lives about an hour away. He got the survey as well. I'm trying to think who else got the survey. I don't know if Joe got the survey, but there are different people. Some in Canada, and I know some in Europe and things like that as well got it. So
Oh,
yeah, it's totally random the way that they send it out. Like I said, in the 2+ years that I've been with Stadia, this is only my second ever survey. I know some people that were based in the US, at least if you want to believe their posts on Reddit or social media, that they get surveys more often than not. So it all depends. Like, just make sure in the app that you're opt in for surveys there, and you can get it. Like, I know when they did the offer for, what was it, they gave people a free month of Stadia Pro, right? Like, I never got that email, and I know
yeah.
a lot of other people did as well. So it's just
Yeah,
all
and when they roll out new features in the application, you're always like one of the last one to get them for some reason. That's
exactly
you're a
right.
founder,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I
So
was like, yeah,
yeah,
I was there day one. But anyways,
yeah.
it's fine. And then here's the last question. Thank you for taking your time to share your thoughts on Stadia. These surveys are important for, basically, like, is there anything else you want to say? And this just reminds me here, because I believe if, no, he didn't. Okay. I think that Metal Wolf actually had gotten one of these as well. So he's in Canada. But yeah, so I thought, like, I would share this because this is something, again, as a community, we're very interested in anything Stadia related. Like, last week we talked about seeing the controllers in McDonald's, right? Like,
Yeah, it's so
like in
cool.
McDonald's, like it's just interesting. And there's a lot of people, and I know I got a little bit of flack on Reddit when I posted. It's like, oh, this is garbage. They're never gonna listen. I'm not gonna do this unless they pay me. And I'm thinking, like, this is your chance, right? They're asking. You see a bunch of people moan and groan about Stadia, never asked, and then they say, oh, well, we got a survey earlier this year and we still haven't heard the results. And I'm like, that's two different things, right? Like, that's about the blog. This is about Stadia as a platform as a whole. But you can never please everybody. I think this is awesome. They're reaching out. Again, this is just another example of Stadia doing research and getting information, and of course, making the needed changes based upon feedback. And we know, like, when Grace was the community manager, she said, if you have a problem or an idea or a suggestion, send feedback in the app. They do read this, right?
Yeah.
They might not act upon it as quickly as you would want to, and you're not going to get a response like an email saying, oh, okay, thanks, we'll work on it. But this is being compiled and put into a database, and they run numbers and analytics, and they see, oh, we have a certain amount of people asking about this and that. So it's worth your time if you really do care about the platform and want to help shape it. Fill out your surveys, give it that feedback.
Yeah,
they really do look at it. Yeah,
I do feel, yeah. So sometimes for some reason Stadia seems to change their ways of talking to people and things like that, and I feel like these surveys are the reason why. Like they just listen, like they hear what people want, and then they just try to do it like what people want to do. So
yeah, and there's never going to be, like, to get a true sampling of your people, you're going to do your surveys all different ways, right? So this is an emailed survey. Some might be on the blog, some might be within the game, within the app, or things like that. So I know, like, whenever I play games and I get that survey at the end, how was your experience? I rate it. I go 99% of the time, I'll give a response and not skip it, because that actually does go to help with their analytics and things like that, and improving the service for maybe others, right? So it always pays, and it just takes a couple seconds. I think this survey, it maybe took me about 20 minutes because I was copying and pasting the photos and things like that. But really, the 17 questions.
So it's a short one. Okay.
Yeah, what was maybe like 10 minutes, right? Like 10 minutes at most, and that's worth it. Like, if I ever get the chance when Google's saying, okay, I've got their ear, what do you think about it? And they ask me this, I'll do it, right? So this is great. So if you got the survey, please fill that out. They are valuable. Next, we have this character Vivi, who some may have saw in the chat here. Yeah, this colorful character, our UK friend Vivi, got a brand new Tesla. He's living it up large. Look at this. And sure enough, on the Tesla here, what's he doing? He's playing Cyberpunk in his car here. Obviously not driving around. So this is parked stationary.
Are you sure? We don't know.
Yeah, he assured me here that that he was stationary and not breaking any rules here. So this is cool. I've never been inside of a Tesla myself, but this is awesome to see. Like, I'm looking on the screen here. I can see, 7 degrees outside, 124, like I see like miles, 6.5 hours remaining. Like, all this is cool. Charge limit, and this is great. But our main focus here, of course, is, like, it's awesome that he can play Stadia on the go. Like, can you just imagine, like, say if you're in the back seat or you're a passenger and you're going down the road here and you're playing, like, all these great games, Cyberpunk, Super Animal Royale, Life is Strange, and stuff like that. Like, it's just totally awesome.
Yeah, I know that Vivi, I think, got the idea after that it'd be nice if a Tesla integrated like a Stadia app inside the system, which would make it even more convenient for him specifically. Right. And why waste your phone's battery when you can waste your car's battery? Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. So this is pretty cool.
Yep.
We thought we'd highlight that for sure. For
Yeah,
community.
definitely.
Okay, and our good friends, speaking of Vivi, our good friends Vivi and Original Penguin Adam, if people out there in the chat don't know, they also have a bi-weekly show, or I think in the UK they call it fortnight, for meaning every 2 weeks here, Silver Lining. And on their latest show here, there was a challenge that was put out. Oh my God, this is completely, like, this is so funny that I'm actually, what I'm going to do here, and I've got to move this out of the way because I want to share the sound on this. So I'm going to turn this off here. They put a challenge out, screen sharing.
Oh, it's so funny.
Let me see. Yeah, so they put a challenge out here. I want a Chrome tab.
Can you put a Chrome tab with sound?
Yeah, you actually can here. I'm gonna click here. Let's see.
So yeah, they did. Silver Lining is a podcast show with Vivi and Penguin. Just talking about news, and they're pretty. I think their focus is being funny, and it's a really funny show. And they've put a challenge that they have to use a trailer, but they're putting all of their own sounds in it, and it's so funny.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So I have the link. We have the link to this in the description. You can vote, but I want to play these, and I hope the sound, let me know if this comes through here. I don't want to show any favoritism. I'm going to play Adam's first here. So let me see, let me know that you can hear the sound when this plays, okay?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Oh my God. Can you put it full screen?
Let's see here. I don't know if this will pop. Yeah, see, it loses.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It loses it.
It's okay. Oh my gosh, I love the Stadia.
So this is Spitlings. They each had to do 100% of this voiceover using their own voice here. So this is Adam here, Original Penguin, making these noises and the music in the background. Definitely click on like the link in the description here to be able to watch these videos here. They both spent a great amount of time perfecting this. So you can go over there. Did you hear that? Hold on, I gotta go back. This is so funny.
Oh my God.
Let's see.
Oh my God.
So that's so awesome.
Funny.
So there's Original Penguin Spitling, and Vivi did Peppa Pig. So here we go. Listen to this. They're both hilarious.
Yeah.
Stadia.
Oh wow.
Oh God, it's Peppa Pig. Ding dong. Hello everybody. This is the new person I'm going to annoy. Build your victim. Choose your clothes. What animal you're going to be. Whether you want to wear glasses. And if you want to be a pirate.
See, and so Vivi's also doing that music in the background.
You're here. I'm going to make you suffer so much. First, we're going to steal the crown jewels. I like dinosaurs. We're going to steal a car. And then play in the mud.
Get this.
Well, howdy there, Spuddy. Mashed potato, mashed potato. Spend your time terrorizing the locals, riding around and destroying public property.
Riding around destroying public property.
Join this bunny in a hot air balloon as she takes you away to the mountains, where you may never be seen again. Make friends with other animals, so they may share in your suffering. That's terrible. You should throw it away. You're going to be with me forever. I'm never going to let you go. You're trapped with me. Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome.
Look at that.
Vivi, your imagination is out of this world. Oh my gosh.
Like, I'll burn your house down.
Buy this game So Vivi and Original Penguin, they both did amazing job on this. So definitely check out in the description of the video, vote, let Vivi and Original Penguin Silver Lining, let them know whose who's you like better? It's so hard to choose. I'm not gonna vote here,
Oh my
but
gosh. Yes.
yeah, it is definitely so awesome here. So I'm gonna stop this share
Can go back.
and let's see. Yeah, let's go back
Wow.
here. Oh
I'm
my gosh.
lying. This was the first
Yeah.
time I was seeing them, and it was epic.
It
They're so
is
good.
just is yeah, it is so funny. Again, they both did great jobs on it here. Hold on, let me get my screen back to full. Does that look okay for you?
It's wait. I don't see your screen yet. Give me a
Oh,
second.
you don't see it?
There you go.
Okay, all right, and it
Yep.
looks good.
Yep.
Okay, good. So yeah, so check out Silver Lining. You can follow them on Twitter as well at Silver Lining YouTube. They're great. Like Adam and Vivi are such great friends, and definitely
Yeah.
check out the show there. You can be able to see the full screen versions of them with sound and whatnot. It is totally awesome. Check it out. And we thought we'd mention that as well. It's just cracking up
Oh my gosh.
laughing
Yes.
at these trailers here. So alrighty. So we want to give a special shout out. We talked with Califet earlier, who is a friend of Ray, the gaming cyborg. We had Ray on a couple of weeks ago. Well, guess what? Today is Ray's birthday. So a shout out. Happy birthday, Ray. He's having a special birthday stream today at 10 p.m. Eastern. PUBG, Rainbow Six Siege on Stadia, and he's tagged quite a few people here. Look, Califet there, Windstar, Real Doctor here, Certified Doctor.
All familiar
Codex and
face that like some of them don't really stream, but they're very familiar because they participate in a lot of Stadia streams of people. So it's
Yep.
nice to see them. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely check out Ray and his stream. And again, we've got the link to that in the description as well. That should all be there for everyone to enjoy. And if you aren't following Ray on Twitter, Ray3473, check him out. Such an awesome individual. All right, so moving along here, Windstar is another great person in the Stadia community. I think he was in the chat earlier. I'm not sure if he's still here in the chat, but want to help Windstar get to 100. So I'm going to click on here and see if Windstar made it. Look, 101 subscribers. So congratulations, Windstar. As you can see here, he's got streams of different games on Stadia. Windstar won, I think. What game did he win? I don't know why the name's evading my mind. We interviewed the developers. The singing one. Remember, we did the developers in December. Rebellica also streamed it as well.
One hand clapping.
One hand clapping. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
He won one hand clapping. He streamed that as well. So check out Windstar. Got to 100. So now he's going to be able to choose the name there. And look, it looks like he already does. So perfect.
Yep. Congrats.
Congratulations. Yes. All right. So Ninja found the site here, or added it to the notes here. Cloud Gaming Catalog. So this is a website where you can look at games and find out. So let's see. On Stadia, it tells, look, sort by the name, alphabetical here, sort by the latest.
So if you don't have, if you like all cloud gaming platform, what's nice about this site is you can just have a look at the list of every single cloud game that exists around. So they have a list there. They got about 5 or 4 or 5 cloud gaming platform. And so if you're like, oh, I'm wondering, if Devil May Cry 5 is in one of these cloud gaming, then you make the search and you can have a look and see which cloud gaming platform is for. So if you click on one of them, for example, you can see that category Amazon Luna. So it's very cool spot, a one-way spot to get everything and look exactly. If you're a very big fan of the cloud and you're subscribed to all of these places, you can actually have a look and see what you can play, which is nice. I really like it because I don't keep myself up to date with every cloud platform. So looking at this, I can see other games that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, this is awesome too. Like, look at all the information they have on this too. So it's not just that, okay, here's a short description of the game and it's on Luna. It's like, okay, multiplayer modes versus developer publisher, when it came out. Luna, yes, it's on Luna Plus Prime Gaming. Like, it's got lots of great information, a trailer to it as well. So that's awesome. Like, this is a great resource. Definitely one you should check out. We don't have this in the show notes because this was added later on, but cloudgamingcatalog.com, and you can check it out here and see. This is great. It looks like it just came online yesterday.
Yeah. Right? And shout out to John Carr, who mentioned that to us. So he did the mention. So it's someone who worked on that for a while, and he finally got it live. And it's amazing, like you said, like, how does he get all this information in there? That must take so long. So very cool website.
Yeah, look, every game page offers the following. Bam, bam, bam. Lots of hard work put into this. So a big shout out. Was it John Carr that put this together, or he discovered this, or do you know?
I think that he discovered it.
Okay.
Yeah, like the way he worded it, I'm not sure if he's actually worked on it or not, but he was advertising it for so
yeah. This is awesome. I would love to be able, maybe we could talk to whoever created this, get them on the show at one point in time, and just find out about their passion, what drove them to make this, and a little bit of background info, because you could tell, like, there's a lot of work that was put into this. So a big kudos to them. Cloudgamingcatalog.com. All right, moving along. Mostly Martinez. He's added a couple more controller stands to his Etsy store.
Nice.
So look at these. These are awesome little stands here for Switch, for Stadia as well. Also joins, look, he's got a link there for Stadia Pro, 2 free months. So Martinez mostly. So he's mostly Martinez, but on Twitter it's at Martinez mostly, probably because it was taken. You can check out his Etsy store there and see. Let's actually click on it here.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat for
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So you can see like a bunch of different items, 3D design. Look at this for a Nintendo 64 slot holder, controller. That's awesome. Like, this is neat to be able to hold your controller, especially when it's on display here. Like, if you have it in an entertainment center or a cabinet, the controller, putting it right up there. So there's a ton of different controller holders that he's made and developed, 3D printed. So check that out. The link is in the chat.
I'm very tempted to buy some because with my new TV, like, I got a lot of space in the front. So I'd love to like put all my controllers like right in front of the TV. It'd be really nice looking. Yeah,
that's awesome. Like, look at this for GameCube here, and the way that they're designed. Like, this latches onto the back of the GameCube handle, and you can put your controllers there nicely. So yeah, I'm going to be checking this out here after the show for sure.
Perfect. So Vivi just confirmed that the Cloud Gaming Catalog was made by John Carr. So it's just to be clear. Yep. Okay, so thanks, Vivi, for that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Winter Community Championship on Stadia. We've been giving updates every week here, and here's a reminder that the finals are live this Saturday. That's tomorrow, March the 5th. 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and that's 8 p.m. GMT UK time on Original Penguins channel. We've got the link in the description. If you're in the top 16, you should have received a request from us to confirm participation. So it's going to be an awesome time. Check that out tomorrow afternoon on Original Penguins channel. It's going to be great. Super excited there for that, to see who walks away number one.
Exactly. Vivi is asking, who is the secret third co-host in there? I'm wondering who is going to be.
so it's going to, I wasn't sure if
Yeah, me neither.
I was being shunned away or not. But so it's going to be Original Penguin, Vivi, and myself will be commentating on the finals tomorrow. So really looking forward to that. Summer Community Championship finals were super exciting, and I don't expect any less for this. Is going to be a great time.
Yep,
So
and I'm gonna
check.
Oh, yeah. Just go ahead, John. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say check. Just finish like the promo to it. Make sure and check that out.
Okay.
Again tomorrow. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and yeah, I'm also a part of it. I'll be in the background though, so you guys won't see me, but I'll be taking care of a few things in the back during the event. So it's gonna be fun.
Awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay, so we want to give an update. Dad Plays Games. We had him on the show was it last week we had him on the show?
I feel like it was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, so we had him on the show recently. He threw last Saturday, had a 12-hour stream to raise money for mental health in honor of his sister who they lost to mental health issues. And Dad Plays Games is a big shout out that his goal was to raise $1,000 for the charity. And guess what? They raised $1,020. I believe that's US as well. So they raised that's a lot of money to raise in one 12-hour period. So a big shout out and congratulations to Bjorn there and everybody that donated and watched and helped. And it was a great time. I checked in a few times here or there, and I think he was saying like the last hour or whatever he drank, maybe the hour or last 2 hours, he drank like a bottle of wine. And by the time the stream was over, he was feeling it. Came on Discord and was very excited.
Very emotional, right? Yeah.
Very emotional. Rightfully so, though. So
it was a fun time.
Everyone that helped support Bjorn and Dad Plays Games. All right. And moving along here, there's the Stadia racing community are going to have a grid endurance event. So this is going to take place tomorrow at 8 p.m. CET. I think, I don't remember offhand what that is for Eastern or GMT, but I know it's not, I don't think it's during the Winter Community Championships. I think it's either later on or after 8 p.m. CET. I'm not 100% sure, but again, the link is in the chat here if you want to sign up for it. Grid, up to 40 players can participate, and this is an endurance race that's starting tomorrow. So it'll be one race, 60 minutes non-stop. So that should be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Our good friend, InLead, however you want to pronounce it, updated the Stadia Pro Game Monitor. New games, prices, and ratings. 5 new Pro games, 1 with a Metascore of 80+. 4 Pro games leaving February. 135 games since Stadia came out in November 2019. And as of March, there are a total of 51 Pro games that are claimable. And as always, have fun with the data. And it's just great to look and see all this data compiled here. And even if I don't know what it all means, there are people that do, and it is very useful. And we even got a shout out to Stadiaversary, the 2nd anniversary of Stadia. They mentioned the Stadia Pro Game Monitor and all the hard work that's been put in place here. Look at this here. We can see on average how many games were coming out. So lots of great information. And just like Inlee says, have fun with the data. Check that out.
Big shout out to InLead on the wiki also. Like me and InLead are part of the wiki, but I just want to say that InLead is so fast at updating the data. Like he's very good at putting it as like almost as soon as the announcement. So he's so quick at doing all of this. Like he's very passionate, and it shows that he does a lot of work on that. So yeah.
Awesome. Good. So Stadia dosage. MM2K and Jack over there were talking about a new Stadia Android TV APK is out. Jack recently just started doing teardowns, of the APKs, and usually the app on Android, and because the Google TV app or the Android TV app isn't built the same way as the Android app here, so it's a little more difficult or harder to look at. And it says because of the use of Flutter and Dart, these APK breakdowns are a little more complicated than most, involving lots of shell commands and string processing. So Jack even puts out here and says you should consider these particularly imprecise. So again, we're looking at this. There may be, some things that we find in here. You can't really draw conclusions, but it's interesting. I think this is the first breakdown or teardown of an Android TV app here, and we can see here incorporated in this release is entirely new device app that is written in Flutter, like most of the phone and tablet app. And you can see some points put in here. These suggest new to the device code is now part of an app around gamepad support. This could be related to hints at the Android TV controller service, and there are lots of new controller service strings. So it's interesting here. Check it out, the pntsnetwork.com. And this article here is continuously updated by Jack. This is the Android TV, and here is the phone app as well earlier, and just doing teardowns there. So shout out to Jack. Thank you so much for all that hard work.
Yeah, amazing.
So Outright Games, we know they've released, there's 2 games this week on Stadia that came to it. Both Ryan games, Ryan's World. And on Wednesday, they tweeted out here, ready to jump into the spooky stories of, hold on, let's mute that in my ear here. The spooky stories of Hotel Transylvania. So this game was originally planned to come out last year around Halloween, but it got delayed. There was a Hotel Transylvania movie that I think came to Netflix or one of the streaming services in January. So this is like a compliment to that. And sure enough, Zarina beat me to the punch here and says, it looks fun. Will it be coming to Stadia by any chance? Because any of the documentation, the press releases, or even the website doesn't mention Stadia. And so Serena asked here, and sure enough, our friends at Outright says, hi, it's our intention, but we can't confirm it yet. We hope to have exciting news very soon. Thanks for your interest. Could this be a game announced next week? Maybe. High speculation. But we have Outright Games here saying they want to bring it, but they don't have any, they can't officially confirm it yet. So, based upon their response and past history of the relationship between Outright Games and Stadia, I can pretty much, with a high level of certainty, say that we're going to see Hotel Transylvania on Stadia. And look at this here. It says, Outright Games is like, yeah, we can't wait to dive back into Hotel Transylvania, this new adventure. So I believe this is scheduled for this month. Let's see. Coming soon, right?
Very soon. I feel like it's going to be soon, yeah.
I think it's around the middle of the month. I thought I saw a date somewhere of the 15th, but it doesn't say specifically. And look, it says here just the platforms that it doesn't have Stadia, but we saw that before. I think we're going to see it. I don't know if it'll be at launch, maybe a little bit later, but I think it's pretty safe bet to say that Hotel Transylvania will come at some point to Stadia sooner rather than later, in my opinion. So again, great. Another kids game, right? And fun to play. So awesome. Good news.
It reminds me of Ben 10 Power Trip, and I was very excited for that one. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Yep. Another community member here, Wrist Locks for All. Notice this on the Google Fiber page, a Stadia controller. So again, we talked about this earlier. Last week, we saw the Stadia controller in a McDonald's ad, and we're starting to see little bits of the controller or Stadia-related stuff show up in different places. Some may think this is trivial, but this is just good. More brand awareness. It helps build that brand awareness here. It doesn't say Stadia exactly, but there's a controller and it helps recognize of, the Stadia branding. So awesome to see that, and shout out to Wristlocks for tweeting that and making us aware of it. Let me see. Did he say anything? Wish Google Fiber was an option for me.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and so we have Christopher Clay here, the developer of Stadia Enhanced. We know earlier this week there were some changes. Something was changed on the Stadia app and website in the background, because temporarily some people lost touch control ability. It was later brought back. It was later restored. Stadia Enhanced stopped working, and so Chris put out a new updated version, resolving the issues due to the changes on Stadia's side. If we click on that, it's a Reddit post here. Let's give it up here. Can't believe I didn't. And it tells, they added some missing keys. He's done some changes, some code for easier maintenance, fixed issues with the UI, and some personal notes here. It says this update 1.20.0 was originally planned for a release next weekend, but after receiving issue reports last night and the changes on Stadia side, I pushed this out today. So this is good. It's great to see, that this is a community developed plugin, right, to help further enhance the Stadia experience. So we're getting good background information and keeping it all up to date. And so shout out to Chris for that.
Yeah.
Now, this next piece of news, I saw this on, I believe, in the Wired Productions Discord channel for Stadia. Someone posted this. This was about 4 months ago, and it's on Reddit in the Game Dev Classifieds. Porting a Unity game to Google Stadia. Please contact me at info@camel101.com for details. This is, of course, paid. Or if you know, guys, someone that could do this, please let me know. Thanks, Bruno. Sure enough, Bebop here, it says he's a community member as well. There's recommends Mantis Games. And then someone's here is like, is this for those who remain? I'd be stoked. So I brought up the website here, and sure enough, Camel 101 here. If we look at the game, look, those who remain. So they've got a variety of different games. I think this is their biggest one here.
Yeah, it's it's too bad we don't have Andrew still here, because it's an horror type of game, first person view, and it's kind of puzzly. Like, I guess it gives like a Silent Hill or Resident Evil, but vibe, but not without monsters. And I think you have to stay in the light, or else like you always see monsters in the dark lurking. It seems very intense. Like I'm very interested to see that for sure.
Now, Ninja, look down here in the bottom right hand corner.
My gosh.
What do you see?
I didn't know that.
Here? I didn't either until I just saw this here.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, maybe for those that are listening after the fact here on the audio version of this, there's a Wired Productions logo in the bottom right-hand corner of this trailer. So, could this be coming to Stadia? Could, those who remain be coming to Stadia in the near future? It uses Unity, and based upon talking to different developers, we know that bringing your game to Stadia supports Unity. It's not that difficult to do. Obviously, this is not discounting all the work that needs to be done, but it's easier than another engine or whatever. So it looks like there's a good chance here, based upon a Reddit post of someone asking about, we're looking for someone to help bring a game over. I'd say there's a high probability of those who remain coming to Stadia in the near future. Again, here's a speculation. Could this be one of the games that it's announced next week? Who knows? Yes, no, maybe so. Yeah.
Could it be one of those games that remains that is not on Stadia yet?
Yeah, right. So who knows? But this is encouraging news. I didn't see this. This was posted what the Reddit post was, what, 3 or 4 months ago. I
Yeah.
don't recall anybody talking about it on Twitter or the usual Stadia hangout places. I just saw this posted on, and again, it was in the Wired Stadia channel.
Do you
by
remember
somebody
who posted
in there.
it? Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I think,
offhand.
like, I don't know. He just randomly popped up and put that, right? Like, and me and you were like, what? Like, oh my gosh, what is this? You know, like, very interesting.
We were like, say what?
Yeah. I think he posted, like, someone else posted, like, an interview from Deliver Us to the Moon about an interview back in, like, 2020 for porting to Stadia. And then this popped up, and yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah. So, again, all speculation. Take it all with a grain of salt. But if we're believed to be that Reddit post asking for someone to help port, which I don't know why anyone would fake it, but people do the strangest things. It looks like this is a good possibility of coming to Stadia. So we'll see. Keep your eyes open. Those who remain could be coming to Stadia.
Yep. So next up, I'm going to talk about that one because I don't think I've mentioned too much about it. So Wario64, lately, I think he does it all the time now. He posts Stadia deals. He posts like the pro games and things like that. So of course, some snarky comments here. Someone says, this still exists. And the Wario64 comment made me like laugh so much because he just says video games. Yeah, like he knows he knows what he meant. And I think Wario64 just started getting annoyed about people just saying this, you know, these type of comments that they always say. So I don't know, like I just wanted to post this just to show that you know, like Wario64 seems to be supporting Stadia, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. And for those who don't know, Wario64, it's a Twitter account here, and you can see here video games. I tweet deals which may contain affiliate links. So this is this account, and it looks like they got verified there. It looks like 1.1 million followers. Yep, they tweet a whole bunch of deals for US and video game related stuff about finding deals and this and that. And they recently started, like Ninja said here, posting about Stadia and the pro games. And at first, I didn't know if it was sarcastic or not, but it seems to be like really legit. And there's a lot of people, as you saw there, 1.1 million followers. So this is good. This is another example of brand awareness. Sure, it might not get as many likes as some of the other posts, but this is still introducing people. You always have these dum-dums here that say, oh, and the 2 other people, the 6 other people, the X amount of other people, this still exists. I thought it was dying, it was dead, blah, 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 whatever. But of course, who cares about that? But this is just great. Advertising the Stadia Pro games. And like you said, it was funny. Like, video games? Yeah.
Exactly.
Come on, people. Like, get with the times here.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
It's just so silly. And so we have this tweet here. Stadia Hunters, the completion of the February on Stadia. So this was so maybe do you know a little bit more background on this? Or
since last month, the Stadia Hunters community has started to do a voting poll to show like the 100% achievement of the month. So what people do is they vote for what they think is the best completion, and so it's just to give, you know, like a recognition to whoever did the hardest completion. Last month was, I think it was Pixel Junk Raiders actually, because we finally were able to do it, right? Or that was in January, I can't remember. But exactly. And so in February, these are the achievement that were done. And it looks like Fletch is in the lead right now with Dynasty Warriors 9.
Look at this name here. I recognize that name.
That's right?
From the Winter Community Championships, fellow Canadian, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah, and we've also learned that he's from Quebec. He's right between us, right between Ontario and New Brunswick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. So I
Mhm.
believe Max is going to be in the competition tomorrow. So good luck to Max there. And I think with that, that's going to close out our community news. We had a whole bunch of awesome and amazing news this week. Califet was on here as well. Wow. Like just when you think like there's not really a lot going on, if you when you dig down and look at it, there's always a ton of new Stadia related that is going on, and it's so great to be able to talk and share this with everybody and just see people's reaction in the chat as well. So
Exactly.
awesome.
So let's go ahead and open up the chat and talk a little, maybe like a 15 minutes, if you're okay with that, John. And
Yeah.
for a subject, I think what would be interesting is to talk about what are you the most excited about Stadia right now? You know, what tickles your fancy about when you think about Stadia?
I think the question is, where is our fancy and how does it get tickled?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. But yeah, no. So just to start, and I'm gonna start, and then we can go with John, and then we can go with the chat afterward. I think, like for me right now, when I think about Stadia, like I just think about this week with Wired Production, how supportive they showed, like how much support they showed this week. This is what excites me the most right now because it's amazing the support that they did. They opened a new Discord channel on their Discord. When we ask them questions, they just talk about how passionate they are and how willing they want to be on Stadia. They went on Twitter, they talked, they defended the platform, and then they announced 2 new games coming. And I don't know, to me, like, it's just amazing what they did, and I just wanted to highlight that. Yeah. What about you, John?
I definitely agree. This week has really been very interesting and eventful. Monday we got the announcement of Calico and Lake from Whitehorn Games. Is it Whitehorn? I think it is. So we got those, and then we got a tease. Was it Tuesday that Wired Productions tweeted that they're going to be announcing a game or some game announcement, or that they opened up the Discord, and then there we learned that there was going to be an announcement originally scheduled for Friday, but then later we found out that it was pushed ahead onto Thursday. I remember like Thursday morning, like a bunch of us were in their Discord. We're all sitting there like waiting. I had a stream scheduled, the Adam Wolf stream, for 12 o'clock Eastern. And I was
I remember that.
Yeah, 12 o'clock. And I was like, okay, if by 11:30 in the morning they haven't fully announced it, I'm going to push the stream back a half hour. We got a little tease, and we kind of like figured it out that it was going to be delivered to the moon there, but nothing confirmed. 12 o'clock came. There was no official announcement. So I said, okay, I'm pushing it to 1 o'clock. I said, by then, I just have to stream. I can't push it any later. Well, guess what? Sure enough, as soon as I go live, 1 o'clock, the announcement comes out. So people were talking about it in the stream as well, and I'm very excited and finding both games. So I'm really excited, and I love that. I also love, or what I'm excited about too, is the Google for Game Developer Summit.
Yes.
That's upcoming. There's going to be a lot of informative information in there, again, geared for developers, but the fact that the Stadia account on Twitter is talking about it and things like that, I think that's really good. Again, brand awareness. So looking forward to streaming that and sharing thoughts and responses during the stream in the chat there. It's good. We can see that the stuff that's been put into place the end of last year and early this year are starting to pay off as far as the Stadia Pro, right? Tools, certification, all that stuff. And I think as we come through the year, we're going to see that start to accelerate, meaning more games.
It feels like it.
I really do. And then into next year as well. So again, I'm setting my expectations realistically for the Google for Games Developer Summit, not expecting to be some massive announcements, but I'm looking forward to learning more about the platform, those different sessions that they have here, the Windows emulator for Stadia, profiling on the server, like all these technical type things. It's very interesting. And usually, just like the Breakpoint Developer Summit, we do learn a little bit of tidbits of information here and there. Like one example from Ryan that we learned about Unreal Engine 5. They're working on getting that certified to work with Stadia, right? So that's very important. The Unreal Engine 5, we already have 4 is compatible with it. Unity is compatible with it. So to hear that they're working on getting 5 compatible with Stadia, the tools, so that would mean, again, bringing games developed for Unreal Engine 5 over to Stadia will be easier. So yeah.
I can't wait.
Definitely.
There's some exciting stuff in the future for sure. So let's jump into chat here. So Rebellica says, I played the Lumo demo on Steam and it's really fun. And it got me excited. I didn't know there was a demo. And I'm just downloading it now. Like I think after the show, I'm going to give it a try. I'm very excited for Lumo personally. I was watching some videos. There's some developer videos out there. And the way it works is you see the whole world already. So you can see like everything that you need to do. There's no loading time. And the objective is basically to turn everything red to blue with puzzles. And I just like the concept so much, just to turn everything blue. And you already see like your progress throughout. So it got me exciting, and I think I'm going to buy it day one. It looks amazing.
And again, who's that being published by?
I don't know.
Wired Productions. Yep, it's Wired Productions. Yep.
Yeah.
So they were showing their support. That development team is out of Vancouver as well, here in Canada. So we have reached out to the developer. They're extremely busy. A lot of these indie games are by smaller teams that not only are they developing the games, but they also have other life commitments, full-time jobs on top of developing the games and things like that. So we're hopeful. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I'm doing it right and it's not offensive to anybody here. Just a joke. But hopefully we'll be able to get the developers or someone from the team for Lumo to be able to talk to them on the show here and help get people excited about the game, find out about the game development process. Again, I know we mentioned it last week. Rebellica is actually crocheting or hand knitting Lumos. There's actually on the Lumo website, there are details and instructions on how to knit your own or crochet your own Lumo. So I know she's working on that. Of course, with the everyday life of kids, a job, being sick, taking care of, Granite.
Taking care of Granite,
taking care of Granite. Yes. Look at that. That's awesome. Maybe we can next week post some pictures from Rebellica about what she's got finished, if she'll allow us to share those. But here's
the pattern
instructions. To me, it, like the old saying goes, that's Greek to me. Like it doesn't make any sense to me, but Rebellica is a woman of all trades, I hear. So she was good at knitting and crocheting as well, and she's working on that. I just want to give a shout out here. There's Bud with a super sticker of $2.
Oh, thank you so much.
Waving their hand and saying me. Yep, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
Oops, I can't see who's asking. What is that? The Lumo demo? It's on
Steam.
Okay.
You can get it there.
Awesome.
I had some. I just wanted to mention that. So the Lumo developers, there's 4 developers in total. So I can imagine how much work they had to do. Just with 4 developers.
Right, and it's coming out to multiple platforms. And if I don't have my developers mixed up in my brain, the person I was talking to at I forget the name of the development studio, was the Lumo development studio, is actually originally from Cambridge here in Ontario, which is where I'm originally from, about an hour west of Toronto. And they moved out to Vancouver some years ago, 2009, to start developing games and things like that. So it's pretty cool. We're working on a lot of developer interviews here and juggling them back and forth. So hopefully, guys, we'll have some developer interviews coming up in the next couple of weeks here, and that way you'll be able to learn about all these great games coming and ask your questions away.
Exactly. So Califet says, can we get the Arkham series and Gotham Knights on Stadia, please, Google? Yes, I would love that. And it is a possibility, because we did get Arkham Knight on white label from Stadia. Mm-hmm. And the other day I asked John, out of curiosity, if it was still available on the AT&T website, and looks like it is. So what we're looking forward to is whenever the contract is done, if we're going to immediately get it on Stadia. So I can't wait to see if we're going to get that.
That would be awesome. I know a lot of people, and it runs beautifully on Stadia. Like, it's so fluid, 60 frames a second, looks gorgeous. So hopefully we get that.
I can put my date here. It doesn't matter. I don't mind if you guys know my age. But yeah, as you can see, it's easy to know if it's still available or not. There's no like crashes or anything. So you put your mobile number here.
Yep. As for AT&T customers in the US, you put your mobile number, your zip code, and you get in there and you're able to play Arkham Knight, which is great. I was able to get in and play. I had a friend in the US that gave me their information, streamed that, had loads and loads of fun. And I think we learned that so connecting, again, it's supposed to be only for those in the US, but connecting here in Canada, I got a different, remember there was the talk about we got a different video card, because you could go in there. It's basically like the PC version, right? Fit onto the white label. And the video card I had was different than MM2K in the US is connected to it, right? And I remember Death Alive was looking at it and comparing the video cards, and they're of similar nature and stature there, but it was just interesting because obviously we're connecting it to two different data servers. But it was cool.
What made it even more interesting is these types of settings. Maybe it's just an assumption, but maybe this was a test for the Windows porting tools, because you don't get these types of specific settings usually with Stadia, to set up the video card and stuff like that.
Right.
It feels like maybe they were testing grounds with that, but it's just a guess for sure. Yep. So what do we got here from Fletch? He says, personally, I'm excited for the future. Stadia seems to be getting better with communication, and developers seems to be more interested, and it's great to see the platform get some love. So we did we had an interview with Eve from the winemaking simulator. And he did mention that even the developers are getting more communication with Stadia, which is very promising. They've been talking a lot, and no, it's cool to see all the communication happening like that. Yeah. Jack the Slip is saying Stadia has been having a great March. We absolutely agree. It's a very exciting month for sure. Greenet says, there's definitely been some small guy momentum as compared to someone like EA. Do you understand what he means by that, John?
There's definitely been some small guy momentum as compared to some. Oh, so maybe Granite is referring to we're seeing some of the smaller studios, showing their support as opposed to someone like Electronic Arts. And I think that's where Stadia is going to grow initially, is around the indie games and things like that. Just like when Switch launched, a lot of the games were indie games that helped lifted that off, because there was some skepticism too for Nintendo Switch when it first launched. The hardware power and the constraints for memory size and things like that. But then, they had these indie games that came out that helped grow the base. And then, of course, more games are coming to the platform as well. So I think it's good. And I think that's what he's talking about.
I think that I find that when it's small like that, like we get more small publishers, I feel like a platform has more charm for it for some reason. Like because all of
Mm-hmm.
these people are more easy to communicate with. We see them on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter and stuff like that. If we would only get big games like EA and stuff like that, like I feel like it would lose like the like just the charm of the community, right? So, but I'm not saying like it would be wrong, like bad or anything, but it's just how I feel it is right now. Yeah.
Yep, and Granite clarified it here. Yep,
Okay.
I mentioned that
Small
when you
dev.
guys were listening. Yeah.
Makes
Yep.
sense.
So that's cool. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Zarina says Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7 are coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X with visual enhancement. I wonder if the upgrades will be coming to Stadia Resident Evil 7 and if they'll get 2 and 3. Hey, that's interesting. Capcom has been giving some support as of late. And we should be getting Reverse sometime this year also, right? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if we'll get some more support from them.
I mean, we know that the RE engine, which 7 and 8 run on, and 2 and 3 as well run on, is been brought over, right? Like it's on Stadia, so there is that possibility. We'll see here. I don't know, so there's a good chance that we could see those games. They should be, and again with these tools, should make things easier. A lot, like, because people will be, the developers might be hesitant to bring their games to Stadia. They'll say a smaller user base or not sure of cloud or whatever. If there's a minimal amount of work to be able to bring your big titles over and see how they perform, that's great. Like Resident Evil 2, 3, and other games. Monster Hunter, I know that was at one time rumored. Who knows? Like, we don't know what's
free
going
money,
on,
right?
So.
Free money. If it's easy to port, why not? You know, like even if they just reach like, I don't know, like 10,000 buyers, it's just money that they didn't need to spend on. So
exactly. Making the game Stadia Pro, right? You get that share of right? You get that share of the pot there, so that's good.
Exactly. This Bud says this has definitely been a good week for Stadia. Definitely this week and the whole month, even like in the last few weeks for sure. Califet says, I think the most anticipated game on Stadia for me is Avatar. Yeah, so we don't hear a lot about the game, but I'm sure that they'll be advertising it more by the time it comes, just because it's a Ubisoft title, right? And they're usually pretty good at advertising some stuff.
I think we'll hear about it at E3. Is the next time we'll hear about Avatar, because correct me if I'm wrong here. Is Avatar anticipated for the end of this year or early 2023? I can't remember.
You know what? I'm gonna have to have a look because I'm not sure either. I thought it was 2022.
Maybe you can use that wiki, that Reddit wiki.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I heard that there's two fine gents that keep that up to date here.
Oh, but Avatar, I heard that they're pretty cool. Yeah.
What's very interesting is like Avatar is a PS5 and Series X only. It's not coming to PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. At least that was what we know of now. So yeah, 2022. So
E3 would make sense.
I think so. I really do think like that's the next we'll hear about it. If we don't hear about it at E3, then I think it'll be delayed. But I'm sure we'll hear it at E3.
It has to. Like they have to spend a lot of money in advertisement just because it is a big game. I know that people they say that they're going to bring RTX to all platforms, and so people are like, it's going to be RTX on Stadia also. But the thing is, how can I explain that? So Stadia's video card does not handle RTX. Like there's actually a specific kind of component that needs to be done in the video card for RTX to work. So whenever there's speculation about RTX coming to Stadia, they need to upgrade their video card beforehand because it cannot run RTX on the current video card. Just to be clear on that, you know.
Yep. And again, that'll bring to a point where people asking about upgraded hardware. I think Stadia needs to straighten out, which they're doing, the certification process, the tools to get the games over there before giving you that higher upgrade tier, because what sense is upgrading the hardware and getting better specs if it's still difficult to program for, right?
Mhm.
So, making it easier to program for is really
Important.
a number one priority. And
Yeah.
I'm going to date myself here. And of course, go way back in, well, not way back in time, but for some people it might be. We're going to go back to, like, if we think of the PlayStation and Sega Saturn days. The Sega Saturn was developed mostly as a 2D machine, the PlayStation as a 3D machine. The Saturn had one of the first consoles, or actually the first console to have multiple processors in it. It was difficult to program for. The PlayStation, compared to Saturn, was a breeze, right?
Mhm.
So, and to get that performance out of the two machines, that's why you saw a lot more titles go over to PlayStation rather than Saturn. We did see the 3D games on Saturn, but they didn't perform as well on Saturn.
Mhm.
So it's all about the being easy to program for. And I know, like, in your job there too, Ninja, like your day job there, it's like,
Yeah.
making things easier for you is
Important.
the overall,
Yeah.
like, the goal, right? It's very important
Exactly.
to be able to do your job as easy as possible.
Mm-hmm. There's been right now, there's like a beta of Visual Studio 2022, like a preview. And I like to keep myself up to date with technology, right? I always use the latest. And it's so buggy, like it keeps crashing on me, and I'm not as efficient at work because of it. And it drives me nuts, but it is what it is. And I remember the PlayStation 3 also. What? Oh, wow. Well, what a coincidence. Yeah. So I've heard that it was also programmed in multiple processors, and they got lucky. I mean, we got a lot of good games out of it, and they did pretty well. So we got really lucky with that.
Yeah. The cell processor, it actually had seven
oh my gosh.
Seven cores in it there. So it was extremely powerful, but also extremely difficult to process, to program for. Sony had a custom chip there that they developed. They spent a whole ton of money on. If you go back and look through charts that people have put together, as far as, like, that's when Sony was in the red big time with all the R&D money that they put into on PlayStation. And it wasn't until end of year 2, beginning of year 3, that we started to see people become more familiar with it. More games, the tools becoming easier. So, it's a live and learn type deal here. And like we've always said, and so many other people, it's just going to take time for the acceptance, and not only from developers, but from people around the world, really.
Exactly. I think we're gonna leave it here, John. If
I think so, because we could go on for hours and hours on this.
But I know that some people, like, when they listen to the podcast later on, like, they say, "Oh my gosh, it's so long," right? So I guess we should try to at least make it like around 2 o'clock next time. But I'm having so much fun, so it's hard. To stop,
it's definitely. But another great action-packed episode here. Thank you, NinjaGuy, for all the hard work that you do.
Oh, thank you, John.
Prepping and getting stuff together.
You did all the good hard work this week. I gotta admit. Oh, you did so much hard work. Yeah.
It's a give and take. We give 50-50, each. We do all the work there. Obviously, we give 100%, but okay. I won't go on anymore. We're gonna wrap up the show. I just want to say thank you for appreciate everything that you do and continue to do, and a big shout out to everybody there in the chat. Again, we couldn't do this without all your support. Thank you so much. Week after week, day after day, it makes everything worth it, and we really do love it. Thank you so much, everybody, for all the likes, all the comments, all the shares, super chat, super stickers, all the funny things. It's great. I love doing Stadium Connect North, and interacting with the community like this is great.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. And see you guys on next week. Same time as usual. We'll be sharing, like, we literally take all the news that we know about and put it in there, like literally everything. So if you want to keep up to date with what's been happening in the week, stay here. And we also put highlight to the community news. So yes, thank you very much for hanging out, and have yourself a wonderful weekend.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.
Bye.